Hi everybody, welcome back. Hope you're all keeping well. What I've got here is one of my subscribers dropped this LNER Azuma off to me. It stopped working on him. So we're going to have a look at it and see if we can get it going, see if we can find out what the issue is. So we'll take it over to the workbench, we'll take it apart and see what the issue is. Good video this for people who are not used to taking their Locos apart. We'll just have a look at this and maybe one or two others, how they come apart and how they all work. So a bit of an informative video for you this week. So let's get over to the workbench. So here we are on the workbench. Let's put some lights on so we can see what we're doing. I've got a cradle here, a bit of foam. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in. I've got a power controller here. This is a Hornby one. Not the best controllers, but it'll do for testing this. So we're just going to put one wire wheels on one side and on the other, and there is absolutely no movement of the motor. Nothing, not even a noise, nothing coming out of there. So I'm hoping what's happened is maybe just a little wire in there's become desoldered and come off. That would be ideal. But before we take it apart, we'll just have a look and explain how this works. So if you can look, see if I can get this on the camera. Down inside the wheels there are wipers that carry the electric from the wheels through the wiring, through the motor, and then back out through pickups on these wheels as well. So on this vehicle, all the wheels should have pickups on it. Now this does have traction tires, which is, so those wheels are not going to pick up power. But you can see how they put a traction wheel on, where are we? That side there and that side there to sort of even it out. So we're going to take it apart now. Now with these units, they're either clipped on or they're screwed on. Now by the looks of this, it looks like it's screwed on. We've got, I think, 2 screw holes there, 1, 2, another 2 there, and 1 at the front. So I think there's 5 screw holes here. So we'll just find the right size screwdriver. Nope, that one doesn't want to fit. This is where you need to have different size screwdrivers to get the right ones. There we go. There we are. So it's always handy to have a magnetic screwdriver as well, so it pulls the screws out. No, I don't know if there's a screw in there. I'm going to take all these screws out, so I won't bore you watching me take screws out. I'm going to take these screws out because they're a little bit stiff. So I'm going to take a little bit of work to get out, so I'll come back when I got the screws out. Right, all the screws are out. 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, and then 2 there. And I've got an old painting tray here, artist palette, to hold the screws in, stop them going anywhere. Now, this, in theory, should just come off now. There we go. Always be careful when you're taking it off, especially if you've got lights fitted, because you don't know whether there's going to be wires to feed lights up here. But there doesn't seem to be any. What they've got probably on here is some push panels. No, actually there's the lights there at the front. So they're not actually in this part. The lights are there. So now we're going to have a look at this. So I'm going to take the phone off the tripod and then show you the wiring on here and see if we can see anything amiss. So most modern Locos will have a circuit board, something like this. Now this is running on DC, and you can see here they've got what they call a DC blanking plug. So without this in place, it won't actually run. So this is where you would take this off and put a pin in, or a decoder in, if you're running on DCC. So we can see we've got wires coming off here, and they're going down here, obviously, to the lighting panel. And then we've got these wires coming off here, going down into the motor and to the pickups. So, oh, there we go. that's probably the cause of all the problem there. Wire's broken off. So now we just need to find where was that attached. Was that attached to the pickups or was that attached to the motor? And I bet that's what is causing all the problems and stopping it from running. So anyway, back to the description of where these wires go and what they do. So we see, so you can see under there, you've got two wires there, black and a red, coming up from this bogie here, supplying power to the board. And you've also got two here going into the motor, because this is the motor in here, and then two again going to the pickups on here. So I presume that one is probably actually going to the motor, because if it was the pickups on here should still power it. So I presume that one there has come off the motor. So we're going to have to take this mechanism apart here to look at the motor, get the soldering iron out and solder that on. So I'm going to take this apart and then I'll come back to you when I've got it taken apart. So here we go, we got the motor out, and this is hard to do now because I don't want to pull and disconnect any other wires. But you can see here how the red wire is going down here, and that's connected to the pickups that are on these wheels. And then if I can turn it over, see the black wire goes to the pickups on that side of the bogie, you can see there. And then you can see at the top of the motor there we've got a red wire. But if we go to this side, we can see where there's supposed to be a wire attached. And there it is there. So that is our problem. The black wire come off the motor. So this should be hopefully a quick fix. I'm going to strip that wire off, solder it back onto there, and then give it a test, and it should be running. So let's get the soldering iron out. Right, here we are. I've taken the tape off here to give me a bit more slack on these wires so I can pull it out. I've got the black wire here. I don't know if you can see, but I've stripped off a little bit of the sheathing off it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what they call tinning it. So I'm going to take the soldering iron, make sure it's clean, a little bit of solder on the tip. It's actually up to temperature here. It should be. There we go. And I'm just going to rub that along the wire I've stripped. This just puts a little bit of solder on there. You can see there, I don't know if you can see, I got a little bit of blue tack there just holding the wire so I can work on it. It just makes it a little bit easier if you don't have what they call a third hand. And now we'll take that off of there. There's already a blob of solder on the terminal of the motor. Try and it's always hard to try and do this on camera without blocking it. So there's already a blob of solder on there. So I'll try and I'm going to move the camera over to the other side, and then hopefully you can see it a bit better. Right, I have the motor in position here. This is the terminal we need to solder. Here's the wire, which I've already tinned. And hopefully, I'll take the soldering iron. We're just going to put on there, and solder is melting. And then just hold the wire in place. Take the solder iron away. Give it a couple of seconds just to cool and harden. And there we go, it's attached. There we go. That's that connection resoldered. So now, let's just put it on its side and find the power. Now, in theory, when we apply this, it should start spinning. And it does. And if we check over here, we can see that all the pickups, you can actually see what I'm doing here, but I'll zoom back out in a minute and I'll show you testing it. Right, so let's put this back together now. The motor's working, we fixed the problem. It's just a matter of reassembling it. If you're doing this for the first time and you're not sure, the best thing is to either do what I'm doing and film it, you're doing it, so you can see how it goes back together, or just use your phone, take pictures as you take it apart so you can see where all the individual screws and everything goes. So I'm going to put this back together again, and then we'll give it another test. Right, there it is, back in the cradle now. I've put the body shell back on. I haven't screwed it in yet because we just want to test it now, make sure it's all working. So we'll take the power and we'll put it on one wheel and then on the other side. Motor's going. Motor's going. Yeah. And what I'll do is I'll put it on there and then I'll check this side as well. So I'm checking all the wheels. So all the wheels have got to pick up and they're all working. One thing I forgot to mention is when you're putting this motor bogie in, make sure you put it in the right way around, because if you put it in the other way around, it will short out when you put it on the track and it won't work. So just make sure that's the right way around. So that's that back working now for my subscriber. So he'll be overjoyed to hear that. So I'm going to pop the screws back in this. And then we'll just have a look at a couple of my own Locos there, just so you can see how the wiring is slightly different in some of them. So here we have my favourite Loco. This is my favourite because it's my first Loco I ever bought. It's a Class 37, 37063. I bought this when I was 15 after I started doing a paper round and I could afford to buy my own trains. So very precious to me, the first one. Yeah, the buffers are broken on it and it's seen better days, and it's basically just a basic Hornby Class 37. You can feel the weight knocking around on the inside. So this is an older style Loco that you might come across. So we'll put it in the cradle here and we'll put some power on. Well, it does come into life. But with these older Locos, they only have pickups on one side. So if I go up to here on this bogie, you can't hear the motor going because it doesn't have pickups. It only has pickups for one side on here, and then the other side is here, which made them a little bit more unreliable. As well as that, this body it's not kept on with screws. It's got little tabs there, so we need to get our little bits of plastic and gently put them in that side. So you can use bits of cut up ice cream tub or margarine tub or something like that, some sort of stiff plastic. One of my subscribers, Tom, thanks very much Tom, was kind enough to 3D print these for me, and they've come in very handy. So you put them in, basically there's each side of the Loco there's two clips, one there, one there. Some bigger Locos, they might have a third one in the middle, but this one just has two, so you just get your, this is where you need to have some strong nails. You get it in there. You have to be careful yet robust with it. Right, so now with it on those clips either side, we should be able to just pull the body out. There we go. And there, so I mean, the weight was just loose inside, it just sits in there. But you can see on here, different type of motor. This is what they call an old three pole motor, pancake motor. Not the most reliable and not the easiest to convert to DCC, although you can hardwire in, but it is a bit tricky. And you can see how you've got one wire there picking up from one side on here, and then the chassis actually acts as the pickup for the other side. So you can see it picks up from the wheels to there through the chassis, and you can see there's a wire, if you can see it there, actually attached to the chassis, that then goes to the other pole of the motor. So not the most reliable. You know, you've had to constantly keep these wheels clean and keep your track clean to make these run reliably. But again, it's my first Loco. Paid for it with my own money back in 19 89, 1990, something like that. I'm giving away my age now. And the weight just sits in there. So that is an older style with the older style motor. And then you just simply clip the body back on. And as you can see, the bogie fell out there. And the bogies have just got a clip there and a clip there. And they just sit in. Which actually made them easier for servicing because you can just take that out, unclip that wire, and then you can work on the bogie, give it a clean. So, has some bonuses. That's my old Class 37. I'll see if I can find something else to show you. So here we have, this would be an older style steam engine. Of course this is Gordon, Hornby Gordon. The actual locomotive itself is free running, it doesn't have a motor in it, but it does have pickups on one side, which then are transferred through this spring here, the connecting spring, into the tender, through that pin there. And then inside, again, we have one of those motors with the pickup coming off the body to one of the motors. But as you can see, I've hardwired this with a DCC chip. So you can see there how I've got the orange and grey going onto the motor, and then the red and black are connected to pick up here, and how I've got it connected. I've actually drilled a hole in the chassis there and run a wire through it to pick up the power forward. So that is connected to the red. So it's gone from green to a piece of purple wire for some reason, and then into red. I can't even remember why I'd done that. I'd done this years ago. So there you go. Slightly different version with the old pancake style motor. So there you go, guys. I hope that's a little bit more information for you about the different locos out there. So we got this working. So I'll contact my subscriber now and say it's ready. He can come and pick it up. So a big thank you to my channel members and patrons whose names will be scrolling here. If you've got any questions or comments, put them down below. Don't forget to give me the thumbs up, subscribe if you're new here. I'll pop another video here and here, the old subscribe button in the middle. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.